radio. Shout it.
Crazy. When that song went crazy, man. What was that like performing that at the Grammys with a whole orchestra behind you?
Man, I can tell you about that too. I mean, like that was 04. When I first went and did the solo record, kid named Trey out of Athens, Georgia. You know, his parents owned a couple of car lots down there, and you know, he had a little money to play with. And you know, I was a favorite of his, and he wanted to do my, you know, his first show was one of my first solo shows in Athens. So we drove down, did the show, and that's how we befriended each other. He came, you know, broke bread with me a couple of times. So anyway, it turns out that he was cool with Danger Mouse. Turns out we did a Dungeon Family show at UGA in the pouring rain one time, and I met this dude. Y'all ever seen that movie Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and stuff? So you know the little range thing he got on. Danger Mouse had on one of them shits, and he gave me a CD called Pelican City. So I ain't listened to it. You know what I mean?
That's how we do it.
I'm like, all right, folks. Appreciate it.
Oh boy, keep
You
it
gonna
real.
make it?
Yeah. I feel you.
So look, so this is the story, right? Fate would have it that Trey would put us together.
Yeah.
And you know, when I met him, so I went and met him, and I did a remix to. He was working on a project. He was in a group called Danger Mouse and Gemini, and y'all could go back and go find that shit if you want. But like, I did a remix to a song called "What You Sitting On," and then when we finished the session, he was just like, "Yo, if you got a little bit more time, I want to play a couple things for you, man. You know, if you don't mind." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, cool." So he played me some of them tracks, and they spoke to me. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, "Oh shit." It's a funny story. My partner Mente, he came in the room and said, "Oh my bad, man, I left my lighter here. I ain't mean to disturb y'all, man." Then when he was walking out the door, you know how the door kind of closed softly behind you.
Yeah.
He was walking over. And he said, "And by the way, whoever made that track is crazy." You know what I'm saying? Like, so he like, I use him as a barometer too. He got real good taste in music too. He real knowledgeable about music. And so that was like a little affirmation for him to say that. And I'm like, okay. I said, bro, I want to use a couple of these tracks. And he was like, years later, I found out that he was bluffing me. But he say, well, you know, I don't just do tracks, I do albums. I was like, all right, motherfucker, let's do an album. You know what I'm saying? You feel me or whatever. I mean, that was my real answer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you, this is dope shit. So that's how it happened. Maybe we got together maybe like a couple of months later. He was like, you know, I got about 8 days before I got to go to Iceland and work with this band called the Gorillas.
Yeah.
So this is a great story, man. So if y'all familiar with Danger Mouse's history, he put out this mixtape called the Gray Album, and it was a mashup of what they were calling it at that time of the Beatles' White Album and the Jay-Z's Black Album.
That's
so
cold.
It was this big viral internet
Yeah.
sensation, you know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't for sale. It's just one of those things that just end up being like a novelty, but like, you know, just motherfuckers just like blown away by it.
Exactly.
So he's dope like that, right? So he gave me a couple of them, like, yo, I got these going, man. Like, check, you know, pass these out, you know, give them to your friends or whatever, throw them in the trash, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So then he told me, he say, so look, what I like about him, he honest. You know what I mean? When I told you I'm audacious, you know, he got that little ego, that little arrogance to him, right? You know, but he say, so look, you know, before we go any further, I just want to let you know that obviously I'm a fan of yours, and you know, I'm really excited to be working with you, and you know, I like the majority of what you do. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker told me, I like the majority of what you do, not everything you do. I said, okay, I can respect that. So then he said, but look, he said, one thing I noticed about your work, there's a theme that runs throughout it, and you got a lot of good things to say. It's almost like you're trying to, you know, make up for something. He said, so I figure anybody trying to do that much good has probably done an equal amount of bad, if not more. He said, that's what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Ooh.
I was like, And that was my first time coming into a room with somebody who was going to govern and really produce me. You know what I mean? You feel me? Because like I was telling you about the way we come up, you know, we was recording to 2-inch. 2-inch reels.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't digital, it was analog. So it ain't like you could like punch that line or punch that. You got to rewind it all the way back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this shit was exhausting. And back then we didn't really know we was doing 32 bar verses.
No,
So goodie bag and stuff like that
Yeah.
out here, it's all one take. People got really enamored with the fact that I sung crazy in one take.
Yeah.
But I did a bunch of shit in one take. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's what it was. And so we had about 8 days in the studio. So check this out. The story about Crazy, he going through a beat CD, and it just come on, boom, 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 right? And then he go past. I was like, wait a minute. I said, what the fuck was that? I said, play that again.
Exactly.
He was like, he said, I tend to not like to play stuff, or this one because somebody tried something to it, it didn't work, and I'm kind of jaded about the track. I'm like, let me hear it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I listened to it, I'm like, no, that's something, So we just let it play on repeat, man, for maybe 6 hours.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We were talking about, I said, here I am. I had put out 2 albums. I put out Ceelo Green's Perfect Imperfections. Ceelo Green is a soul machine. And so this, Saint Elsewhere, Gnarls Barkley, is technically my 3rd solo album.
Yeah.
I'm the only vocalist.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a group. So
Yeah.
that's why, you know what I mean? That's why it's Gnarls Barkley. But, that 3rd time was really a charm. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I sung it one time, and we was just trying to be productive with the window we had. And Mom was like, all right, okay, what else you got? Let's try something else. So years later, when after it pop off, we doing the interview, he was just like, yo, we didn't really know it was a single. We just knew it sounded closer to something that could be seen as a single than any other thing that we had done up until that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how the shit came out. But we was having conversations about, yo, is it crazy to keep insisting, to try to do it my way? Why don't I just do some trap shit or do some regular shit and then just get it off?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I still want to do something that's mine. I mean, like, that.
Right, that's Ceelo Green.
It's almost like with McDonald's, man. Like, like the recipe for them French fries, man. Like, like you already know. You get your mouth set for them French fries, there ain't but one place you can go.
Yeah, get 'em.
My God.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted for my career. So I likened and did parallels like that to franchises and other businesses, because CeeLo Green is a business.
Madison Square Garden.
Let's get it.
Prince.
I know.
Take us through that. Crazy. He comes out one of the best guitar performances of all time. Now, was that your show and he came out, or was that his show and you came out? What?
All right, another good story. Okay, so let me just finish about that. Crazy, I didn't know this shit was gonna work at all. Didn't know it was gonna work at all. It got leaked, and this the first record to go to #1 by digital downloads alone.
My God.
It's got a Guinness World Record for that. It's the first one to ever do it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so the shit was #1 in England for almost 6 weeks before we even had a deal.
Wow.
We took it down from #1 purposefully. You know what I mean? Because it was about to break Queen's record for Bohemian Rhapsody. It had been up there for 9 weeks. So we took it down. That's just, that's some other fly shit I want y'all to know, man. I'm just saying, like, everybody that's watching this show, you gotta know what your brother done did.
Come on
Right.
now. I'm here for that, though. I'm here for that.
Right.
I be trying to be modest and shit.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Like, we done do,
Fuck that.
put in real work.
Come
man.
on,
Real,
man.
Niggas not no slouch, man.
Come on.
You feel me? So, but look, okay. So let's go here. Prince.
Wow.
All-time favorite. Prince is the absolute best. Better than anybody.
Better than Michael Jackson.
Yes.
You saying that. You were looking at camera and saying, better than them,
Because that's
Jackson.
another debate
Way
we
better
got
than
coming
them. They
up.
don't even really compete.
Oh, shit.
Only thing make them comparable is that they both black. That's it.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Ceelo get warmed up here.
Michael-
B, how he get warmed up?
Michael Jackson, now I love Michael.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so the difference between them two is like, Michael Jackson is like, a child prodigy. We watch him come of age. You know what I'm saying? Like, so his talent is innate. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, he's like, that's God's son right
Yeah.
there. You feel me? So this is why they played Prince like he was fucking the Prince of Darkness, because it seemed like, because you saw his older pictures playing basketball like a normal little dude, and then it looked like he went in the backyard in a thunderstorm, got struck by lightning, and just got down, turned into this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me? That's what happened. That's what happened to him. So anyway, he's my favorite, and he befriended me, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell y'all this dope ass story. I'm gonna try not to be so long-winded, man. It's so cool. So look, we in Vegas. I forgot what we was doing out there, but we was in this random club in the back. Wasn't nobody back there, and we walked past this little booth. It's a little 2-seater booth, and then we was on the big couches, and there was this pretty girl sitting there by herself, and she was dressed. What you call the people in the courtroom? You talking
about
the jury?
No, he's talking about the who take the notes, who keep the
typewriter person.
No,
it's like a stenographer. Am I right?
It's called the
stenographer. I know that.
Okay.
I forget. Well, we know you talking
the typewriter person.
She would dress like that, little pencil skirt, little glasses, ponytail with the little blouse, the short sleeve blouse with the little ribbon for the bow right here, looking like she about to fucking do somebody taxes right now. So she looked out of place and was like, damn, what a pretty ass lady been doing back here by herself. Next thing you know, Erotic City come on. Ooh. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. We like, oh shit. Next thing you know, nigga walk through there, boy. We were like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was shocked, because that's the last person I expected to see, right?
Yeah.
But his reason for being in Vegas, because he was doing a residency there at a hotel called Rio, right? So anyway, he walked past, then he came back, then his security guard came over there and said, Prince will see you now. I didn't ask to see him. But I was like, okay. So I went over there. I sat with him. You know, he was like, I like your record. I like Crazy.
Ooh.
He said, I play it at my set sometimes. He said, but I gotta admit, it scared me.
Does he talk like that for real?
Real quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he said, it scared me. I said, it scared you? I said, do you know how many motherfucking times you done scared me?
Exactly.
Like, shit. That's a compliment coming
Exactly.
from me. Anyway, we befriended each other, man, like, exchanged numbers, and we talked. And then he invited me to come back and perform with him at his residency, because he was already doing Crazy in the set.
Mm-hmm.
So,
damn.
So y'all heard will.i.am talk about this in a couple of interviews, where will.i.am was in Vegas working with Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So he wanted will.i.am to come perform too, but Will was like, I'm in the studio with Michael Jackson. Do you mind if Michael Jackson comes? So will.i.am, I'm over there with him. He didn't even tell me that he was with Michael Jackson. So Prince is playing the bass at the time, and the room in the Rio is a round room. So he walk around, meeting and greeting with the audience, and will.i.am tells him that Prince is in there. I mean that Michael Jackson in the audience. He finds him in the audience. Go play, put the bass right there. Just like that. I was like, damn. You know, and that's the first and only time I met Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson about 9 feet tall, y'all.
Yeah. People think he's short.
Nah, he a big nigga, boy.
Yeah. Might whoop your ass now. You gotta.
I just saw some footage of him, some old footage of him, like messing around with Muhammad Ali. Boy, he was swinging on Muhammad Ali. Did you see that?
Yeah, he beat up Martin too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they in the episode. You ain't bad.